Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to a new journey through the realms of mystery and history. Today, we're venturing into a world that's wrapped in shadows and whispers, Western Esotericism. This subject, with its aura of the arcane and the hidden, might feel a little out of reach, but that's exactly why we're here, to shed some light on this subject and who knows, maybe even spark a curiosity that leads you down your own rabbit hole of discovery. Western esotericism is a vast ocean of spiritual, mystical, and occult traditions that have flourished in the Western world. It's a domain where alchemy, Hermeticism, and modern New Age practices weave together into a colourful tapestry of thought and belief. Initially, I considered diving into how these ancient teachings impact the world of modern politics. However, after some thought, I've decided to keep our focus squarely on the spiritual and mystical aspects of esotericism. But if the role of esotericism in contemporary politics piques your interest, do let me know in the comments. Today's mission is simple yet ambitious, to navigate the core elements of Western esotericism and maybe, just maybe, make this intricate subject a tad more approachable. It's not about convincing or converting, it's about opening doors to new knowledge and perspectives. I hope to present this topic in a way that's informative without taking sides, and I'm eager to hear your views and interpretations along the way. The world of esotericism is broad and deep, and every insight you share enriches our journey. So stay with me as we delve into this truly, esoteric topic. And if you find value in our exploration, consider subscribing and supporting us on Patreon. Your support fuels our journey into our past and helps make complex subjects accessible to all curious minds. Let's start by defining what exactly we mean by this term. You see, Western esotericism is not just a single philosophy or practice, it's more like a vast ocean, with many currents and undercurrents, each representing different traditions and ideas. At its core, Western esotericism refers to a collection of spiritual, mystical, and occult traditions that have their roots in the Western world. These are traditions that delve into the deeper, often hidden aspects of reality. They seek understanding beyond the physical and the easily observable, exploring realms of spiritual knowledge and metaphysical mysteries. Now, let's step back in time. The story of Western esotericism is a tapestry woven through centuries of history. It's a narrative filled with intrigue, secrecy, and a relentless quest for knowledge. From the mystics of the Middle Ages to the Renaissance magicians, each era added new threads to this tapestry. Take Hermeticism. Hermeticism is a philosophical and spiritual tradition that emerged in the early centuries AD, drawing on the wisdom attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure who supposedly combined the qualities of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. To truly grasp what Hermeticism is, we need to think of it not just as a set of beliefs, but as a way of viewing the world that combines elements of philosophy, spirituality, and even a bit of what we might call magic today. Hermeticism's roots are ancient, dating back to a time when science, magic, religion, and philosophy weren't seen as separate fields. It was a time when the mind and the spirit weren't divorced from the material world. Imagine Hermeticism as a map. This isn't like a typical roadmap, but rather a guide to the journey of life and understanding. It's about navigating not just the physical world, but also the spiritual realm. At its core, Hermeticism is founded on a few key principles. Firstly, the principle of mentalism, the idea that the all is mind. This means that the universe itself is akin to a great mind or consciousness, and that all parts of the universe are connected through this mental plane. Secondly, the principle of correspondence, the famous phrase, as above, so below, as within, so without, falls here. This suggests that what happens on the spiritual level of reality also happens on the physical level. In other words, the macrocosm of the universe and the microcosm of individual existence are reflections of each other. And then there's vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves and vibrates. This principle says that everything in the universe is in constant motion and vibration, each with its own rhythm. These principles aim to unveil the nature of the divine, the cosmos, and the self, advocating for a mystical path towards spiritual awakening and enlightenment. Hermetic teachings have significantly influenced Western esoteric traditions, offering insights into alchemy, astrology, and theurgy as means of personal and cosmic transformation. Think of it like this. When you're looking at a beautiful piece of art, you're not just seeing colours on a canvas, you're experiencing an emotion, a thought, maybe even a spiritual moment. Hermeticism teaches that these aren't just personal feelings but are connected to a larger universal truth. So in essence, Hermeticism is an ancient wisdom tradition that teaches us about the interconnectedness of the universe. It's a path of self-discovery, where understanding the self is a gateway to understanding the larger cosmos. It's about looking beyond what we can see and touch, reaching for the deeper spiritual points that bind everything together. Now, let's turn our attention to another fascinating aspect of Western esotericism: alchemy. Far from the caricature of medieval alchemists trying to turn lead into gold, alchemy is a rich and complex tradition that intertwines chemistry, philosophy, and spirituality. Alchemy's roots stretch back to ancient times, with practices and ideas recorded in places as diverse as Egypt, India, and China. However, it truly blossomed in medieval Europe. Here, alchemists were not just early chemists. They were philosophers, mystics, and seekers of truth. To understand alchemy, consider the words of the legendary alchemist Paracelsus, who said the following: "Many have said of alchemy that it is for the making of gold and silver. For me, such is not the aim, but to consider only what virtue and power may lie in medicines." His quote encapsulates his belief in the deeper spiritual purpose of alchemy, focusing on the healing and transformative powers of medicinal substances rather than material wealth. At the heart of alchemy lies the concept of transformation, both material and spiritual. The famous pursuit of turning base metals into gold is actually a metaphor. It represents the alchemist's journey to transform the base aspects of themselves, their flaws and imperfections, into a golden state of enlightened wisdom. The philosopher's stone, another central symbol in alchemy, represents ultimate knowledge and the key to immortality. It's not just a physical substance, but a metaphor for the enlightened state an alchemist seeks to achieve. Alchemy's influence reached many, including notable figures like Isaac Newton. Yes, the same Newton known for his laws of motion and gravity. He spent a significant part of his life studying alchemy, writing extensively about it, and his work in alchemy was far from just a side hobby. It deeply informed his scientific inquiries. Think of alchemy like a personal journey of self-improvement and understanding. Just as an alchemist seeks to refine and purify substances in their laboratory, we all go through processes of refining our character, seeking to better ourselves and understand our place in the universe. In a metaphorical sense, you could describe yourself as an alchemist if you yourself are on a journey of philosophical self-improvement. This metaphorical use of alchemy aligns with its deeper, symbolic meanings in Western esotericism, where alchemy is not just about literal chemical transformations, but also about personal and spiritual transformation. So, alchemy, in its truest sense, is both an art and a science, a path to spiritual discovery, clothed in the language of chemical transformations. It's a reminder that the search for knowledge and understanding, whether scientific or spiritual, is a deeply transformative process. Now let's navigate through the mystical landscapes of Kabbalah, an essential component of Western esotericism while rooted in Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah is not just a study, it's a journey into the very fabric of existence, seeking to unravel the mysteries of God, the universe, and our place within it. Kabbalah's origins trace back to ancient Judaism, with its texts and principles evolving over centuries. It gained prominence in medieval Europe, especially within the Jewish communities of Spain and France. Kabbalah seeks to decode the hidden meanings and deeper truths behind the Hebrew scriptures. At the heart of Kabbalah is the Tree of Life, a symbolic diagram consisting of 10 interconnected spheres, or sephirot. Each sephira represents an aspect of God or a step in the process of creation. The Tree of Life is a tool for understanding the nature of God and the pathway to spiritual enlightenment. One cannot talk about Kabbalah without mentioning the Zohar, which is believed to have been written in the 13th century by Moses de Leon, but attributed to the 2nd century sage Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. It is a complex and extensive commentary on the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, written in medieval Aramaic. The Zohar explores mystical themes such as the nature of God, the structure of the universe, the journey of the soul, and the intricate interplay between the divine light and the material world. It introduces 10 emanations through which the infinite interacts with the physical universe, and discusses the process of creation and the spiritual significance of commandments and practices within Judaism. The Zohar has profoundly influenced Jewish thought and mysticism, providing a mystical framework for understanding the universe and one's place within it. Imagine Kabbalah as a spiritual GPS, guiding seekers through the complex pathways of divine reality. Just as a GPS helps you navigate the physical world, Kabbalah offers a map for navigating the spiritual world, helping practitioners find their way to spiritual growth and understanding. Consider this quote from the Zohar: "The most hidden of all things is that which is most disclosed." This paradoxical statement captures the essence of Kabbalah, the idea that the deepest truths about the universe are both hidden and yet omnipresent, waiting to be discovered by those who seek them. Kabbalah, therefore, is more than just a mystical tradition. It's a comprehensive system that combines theology, philosophy, and psychology. It asks its students to embark on a journey to understand the universe, God's role in it, and their own spiritual essence. It's also an essential tool in understanding Judaism. Finally, we have Gnosticism, an enigmatic tradition that stands at the crossroads of mysticism and philosophy. Gnosticism, from the Greek gnosis, meaning knowledge, is centered on a quest for spiritual enlightenment, but not just any knowledge. This is about direct, experiential understanding of the divine. Gnosticism emerged in the early Christian era, blending elements of Christian theology with older mystical traditions. It thrived during the 2nd to the 4th centuries AD, creating a tapestry of beliefs that often diverged from mainstream Christianity. Gnostics proposed a different interpretation of Christian teachings, focusing on inner enlightenment rather than external observance. At its core, Gnosticism teaches that the material world is an illusion or lesser reality, created by a flawed deity known as the demiurge. The true, higher God, according to Gnosticism, is beyond this physical realm. According to Gnosticism, humans contain a divine spark trapped within the material body. Gnostics believed that through acquiring secret spiritual knowledge, this divine essence could be awakened, leading to salvation and reunion with the transcendent God. Central to Gnostic belief is the conviction that direct personal experience of the divine is possible, and that such experience offers liberation from the constraints of the material world. Gnosticism influenced and was influenced by early Christianity, leading to a rich variety of texts and teachings, some of which were deemed heretical by Orthodox Christian authorities. One cannot discuss Gnosticism without mentioning the Nag Hammadi Library, a collection of Gnostic texts discovered in Egypt in 1945. These texts, including the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Philip, provide a window into the rich world of Gnostic thought. Consider this excerpt from the Gospel of Thomas, one of the Gnostic texts. "The kingdom of God is inside you and all around you, not in buildings of wood and stone. Split a piece of wood and I am there. Lift a stone and you will find me." This encapsulates the Gnostic belief that the divine is not distant or external, but intimately entwined with the innermost essence of our being. In other words, Gnosticism, then, is a path of spiritual discovery that challenges conventional religious dogma. It's a call to seek a personal, experiential connection with the divine beyond the confines of orthodox teachings. This ancient tradition invites us to look within, to find the divine light that resides in each of us. Gnosticism has significantly impacted later philosophy and culture by introducing concepts of spiritual dualism, the value of personal, mystical experience over institutionalized religion, and the idea of a hidden, deeper truth behind the material world. In modern times, Gnosticism's emphasis on individual spiritual enlightenment has influenced various esoteric traditions and psychological theories, particularly those of Carl Jung on the collective unconscious and archetypes, and modern spiritual movements seeking alternatives to traditional religious practices. Its narratives and motifs continue to inspire literature, film, and art, reflecting ongoing fascination with the search for hidden knowledge and the critique of material reality. I should probably mention that there are other forms of esoteric traditions outside this scope. One example is Norse Esotericism. Rooted in the ancient spiritual traditions of the Norse and Germanic peoples, it is distinct from Western Esotericism. Drawing from Norse mythology, runes, and sagas, it offers a unique perspective on the mystical, emphasizing a deep connection with nature and ancestral spirits. While related in its pursuit of hidden knowledge and extremely exciting in its own right, Norse esotericism follows a different cultural and historical path, yet still adding to the rich mystical traditions of modern Western civilization. And there we have it, brothers and sisters, a voyage through the enigmatic waters of Western esotericism. From the transformative practices of alchemy to the profound wisdom of the Hermetic tradition and the deep spiritual insights of the Kabbalah and Gnosticism, we've only just brushed the surface of this vast and intricate landscape. I want to thank you all for joining me on this adventure. If today's exploration has sparked your interest, or if you have insights, experiences, or questions of your own, please share them in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this voyage into the heart of Western esotericism and would like to support further explorations into the mysteries of history, philosophy, and beyond, consider subscribing and supporting us on Patreon. Your support helps keep the lantern of inquiry burning brightly, illuminating paths through the shadows of history and mystery. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and remember, there's always more to uncover beneath the surface. If you enjoyed this video, you should watch this one next.